Hello. It's been a while, hasn't it? And I know it seems like I say the same thing every time I do a new stream. But you know what? It's fine. I just sometimes take a break for 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 personal reasons. Nothing wrong, just I feel tired. Like I really don't want to do this today. And that turns into a week, a month, and sometimes like 6 months. Remember that time? Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, what am I doing? The title of the stream says it, right? I am back to playing Broken Sword. Because what happened with the Skywalker Saga in the Lego version? Well, I reached a point that the game crashed and there was nothing I could do. Straight up, I don't my computer is not good enough to reach the end of that game, and I could have looked into maybe playing Elden Ring again or something. I don't want to stream that, so I'll just play this game that I had already downloaded because I had another idea too. I wanted to play what's his name, the Monkey Island games, the series, the whole, they're like pirates and stuff. Because the announcement of the new one, you saw that? It looked weird. It looked like what's this page that makes a test of your personality type and then shows like characters of different things or celebrities that have that personality type? Yeah, that art style for the next announced Monkey Island game of the series. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, but I realized that I started playing Broken Sword before, and I was like, I know the game is hard, but I have to finish. Come on, I bought 3 of them, and my plan was to stream them, so I shall. I don't know if I'm gonna do them all like back to back, or maybe I switch to the Monkey Island and alternate between them. I don't know. I'll think about it. First, Broken Sword, and I made a new playlist that this stream is gonna go into of Broken Sword from where I left off, because I didn't make one when I started the game. Fortunately, I think I'm not too far in, and what I've done it's not too hard. So only the deciphering thing I had to look that the first one. So I couldn't get it. I couldn't. So yeah, playing the game. Let me see. My key bindings still work in OBS. Do you see the game? You should see on the thing on the YouTubes. Come on, don't delay too much. It's okay. The OBS worked. The key binding that I had. There it is. Oh, it's not right. It's a little short. There. There, that must have fixed it. I'll see later. I trust that it fixed it. Okay, so continue. Again, I could have like restart the game, but I'm not going to. Why would I? Okay, where am I? I am investigating Monsieur Pierre's assassination. And there was a clown somewhere in the sewers, and this was an explosion that happened. So let's
Some
investigate.
journalists drink on the job, not me.
For some reason, I am a journalist that is investigating crimes. Don't worry about it. Sorry about that. Okay, what's here?
From this angle, I could see that something had been lodged in the gap behind the pipes. From this...
Yeah, okay. Anything else? Something lodged behind pipes.
Behind the table were some damaged pipes.
And there's something behind it. Yeah.
Voila! The police and forensic teams had missed a vital piece of evidence. Some kind of pouch. On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. I was on the right track.
Inventory thing. No.
There was nothing of interest beyond... On the pouch was the cross symbol of Carchon's organization. Inside the pouch were two items, a strange metallic artifact and a letter in some kind of code.
Oh. So this.
The artifact had a sword laid across scales. There was a picture of Lady Justice on the locked panel in the room below the conciergerie.
Right.
Another coded message using the same cipher system. So, Plantard was involved with Carchon.
What? Oh, yeah. I did this, didn't I? I believe I did. Let me. See.
Another coded message using the same cipher system.
Right.
So, Plantard was involved with Carchon.
Planta. That's the first thing, right? Planta. So this is this. Yeah, it's fine. I don't find that. There it is. And done. Okay, that's a lot of Arstis. Plantar. Trail. Yeah. P. And Brilliant? No. Earl. This is the same. It's the same letter. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, killed. Yeah. Okay, so planta or killed. What's that symbol? Yeah, broke. So B. Oh. Okay. Plantar Pierre. Plantar. Pierre killed. Statement. Murdered. Murder. Sure. M. That is you. Murder must followed. Must have followed. Oh, oops. What was this one? That's hold on. Let's check something on my phone. It's not this, I swear. This is have. Must have it and then it's followed. Hold on. Don't worry. I'm here. Let me see at the thing. There I am. Okay, what happened? I didn't want any of this to happen. Don't worry, it's not about this. I'll check back later. Okay, where was I? Planta. Pierre killed. Pierre killed. Magdeburg must have followed. Followed. Trail from Arno. And this is a name. Gamada. Pierre E. Sure. And Gemini. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant.
Plantard.
Yeah.
Murderer must have followed trail from Arno and Yamada. He will come for us now. We must be vigilant. Thierry's girl broke into Pierre's safe. She told me, Imelda. So much for Imelda's innocence. Plantard was working for her and for Canchon. But why did Plantard want to meet? Was it a trap? Or maybe he was in too deep and needed me to tell the story, whatever the story was. One thing was clear. It was a story worth killing for.
Great. Action organization have kept me under surveillance, but have chosen not to kill. Yet, how about the costume killer? Sorry. There's some kind of war going on, but I don't know how or why. I am involved. Police missed evidence in the cafe. I'm not that surprised. Found a pouch with another coded letter and a strange metal object with a familiar symbol. Decrypted message. It was querying to Plantar by emailed them. She was clearly part of the organization and lied to me. Her front was a complete sham. She warned Splinter that the murder will come after them. Dart must have really wanted to tell me, or show me something. Great. Yeah, so we look at this thing else. Right. If
Hey, what about my photos?
what about them?
Of course. How could I forget?
Well, I'm waiting. Get your camera out.
Camera. Oh, I forgot. It broke.
Alors, they should never send a woman to do a man's job.
Well, this woman had fooled him easily enough. And found the evidence the police had missed.
Yep. Okay. Where do I go now? Here. I did something with the guy, right? Maybe I can get through.
The door was locked.
No.
I didn't need to call anyone. The strange metal artifact I found in Plantard's pouch had pointed back to the quayside.
Oh, what? Excuse me? This place? I have to do the whole thing again. I don't remember how it went.
The slab was...
Oh, come on. How did it work? Oh,
If I...
yeah. Let's do it and then Paul give me something. What was it? Not that. Not that. This. Then what worked?
The panel wouldn't move. Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death, submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté, égalité, or fraternité. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew.
Sure. Now do this.
This wouldn't hold the cross up. But I was on... I needed to use...
This. Great. And this. Yes. Okay, okay. Now back here. Oh. This thing. Right?
Plantard's key fitted the lock, so he must have used this place too.
Great. What is in there?
A photograph had been torn up.
The pieces back on? It was
If I
kept for
could
a
just
reason.
arrange the pieces.
Oh my. Okay, not too hard. Yeah.
Oh my god. It can't be.
Somewhere. This goes here. Oh, come on. They don't hold. Fine. Oh, that just got there. Okay, this is, yeah, like that.
There was no doubt about it. It was a picture of my father.
Her father.
Papa?
Great.
Oh, God. After what I'd gone through, I thought I could face anything, but not this. My father, the one person in the whole world who I truly admired, standing with Cachon while those murderers carried on with their evil work. My father, grinning at the camera. I couldn't believe it. I realized that I desperately needed to get to the bottom of this story, and that I really needed George.
George. Okay, later. What's this? But she gave me her number. Met an old guy in the courtyard near the cafe. Saw a man running away from the bomb blast, wearing a jacket made of the same material I found in the sewers. Gave jacket away straight away. But I've got the phone number of the tailor who made it, so I might have a lead. To her first.
Oh,
Trump.
hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your
Oh,
fortune?
it's him.
No thanks.
I'm very good.
It looks
It's
like
only
the
Thanks all the same, but
The
I'm
one
not
in-
superstitious.
in
Besides,
Hunter x
if
Hunter.
it only takes a minute. That's not much of a future to look forward to. Do you know a young woman called Nicole Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge. It sticks, you see, because of the damp. The landlord said he'd fix it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me. What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity?
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me. What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are
Ooh.
iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat. I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my.
Why does the
What a
flower merchant
surprise. Can you
tell
tell
the
me anything I don't already know? What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
No, it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece
Ooh.
of cloth, monsieur.
Oh, that's it.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months, she's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap. Your young lady, she deserves better.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes. Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Have you seen anyone out here watching Mademoiselle Collard's apartment?
Yes, I have. A strange man. Tall and thin as a broomstick. He kept his face hidden, but I saw his eyes peering from evil little slits.
How was he dressed?
A long brown raincoat with an hat.
Or like Humphrey Bogart?
Yes, but he didn't have Bogart's charisma. Besides, this guy looked like he needed a toilet. You never saw Bogart clenching his buttocks like that.
Is there anything else you can tell
That's
me
a
about
blank.
Mademoiselle Collard?
No, monsieur.
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish. I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism. Either that, or I don't have a future.
Okay.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
Then the apartment. Let's go.
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
Hi.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
Oh. Just himself.
A beer?
Oh, that's
What
how
would
I
you
see
like
it.
to?
I've been exploring the sewers underneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck. Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
My editor told me to drop the story. Can you believe it?
But you're not gonna do that.
Oh no. I'm going to find out what's behind these killings. It just doesn't add up. It almost feels like some sort of conspiracy.
Almost.
Documents in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
Well, that covers just about everyone.
Okay,
Tell me
speak.
more about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell.
Well, how'd you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought me my first camera. I was 8, and my parents had just split up.
Did you live with your father?
Yes. My mother went off with her new boyfriend. I didn't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted me to study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arnaud Elote, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it, millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was lured to his death by a snowman.
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium.
How did he die?
At the hands, or should I say flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown.
I had been about to add mine to the list, but stopped myself. I really didn't want to have to explain to George about my father's involvement with Cochon.
You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary. And I'll tell you this, I will not be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. But this story could be my only chance for a big break.
Or an early death.
Yeah. Either way, we have to do it.
This is the tool I used to get into the sewers.
Fascinating, George.
You're not interested, are you?
Oh, of course I am. I think it was very brave of you to go down those sewers.
Yeah? Well, it was kind of scary, but, well, I had a job to do.
Great.
I found this false nose in the sewer.
Hey, what's this inside it?
The contents of someone's nose?
Don't be cross, George. It says La Risée du Monde. Masks and costumes. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume. I found this tissue down the sewer.
That's disgusting, George.
No, I think the stuff on it is grease paint, like actors use, or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
Okay.
Found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George. It's an enlargement I made.
What picture?
Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his right cheek.
A scar in the shape of a horseshoe.
Or a crescent moon.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
I have
Left.
to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur.
She's not my girlfriend.
Maybe not yet, but I see your paths entwined in the future.
I doubt it. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Oh, what a hunk.
He's a killer.
I can see that. His eyes stay tall.
Oh no.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
La Risée du Monde. Laughter of the world, or this. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. That's to exit. What's this? That kind of sounds like the Batman. A little bit, you get it, no? Just me? It sounds a little bit like the Batman. Whatever.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind. For in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Then
Didn't
get
you
out.
dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible. You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
I
What?
don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then, I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur. I sold him some grease paint.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that. Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, that. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay. What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Okay, what is it? Inside the clown's nose, I found the name of a costume shop from which the clown suit was hired. Great lead. Nick Sharp. When I showed her the material that I found in the country yard, she gave me a photograph. We took at the scene. It shows a man emerging from the courtyard, wearing trousers made of the same material, and there's a scar on his cheek in the shape of a crescent moon. The guy in Nico's photograph. He bought grease paint from the costume shop and rented 2 costumes, Seamus the Pixie and Bozo the Clown. Apparently he called himself Kang among his trail. Put the Batman again. Where to? Cafe. Hello?
Hello? Who is this?
Mr. Todrick?
Oh, it's you again. What now?
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember?
Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
If you take the Todrick, get another call. He finally admitted to find something. Compared to the guy who bought the suit, it was called Kang. Apparently he's staying in the Hotel Ubu. Getting closer. Okay, Hotel Ubu. Is here? Yeah. That's to leave. Sup?
Excuse me.
Yeah?
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
No, I ain't. Don't tell me I missed him. Oh, that's too bad. I love the clowns, don't you?
I've seen daytime television that was funnier.
I love it when the little guys get hurt.
That figures.
Custard pies, hose pipe down the pants, then smack! A plank in the kisser.
You ever meet a guy called Plantar?
No, I ain't.
You missed your chance. If you're quick, you'll catch him at the coroner's. Do you happen to know a guy named Khan?
That ain't nobody I know.
Do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
Is this a trick question?
No, I simply asked if you recognized him.
Okay then. No, I don't.
No. Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
Nope.
Okay.
Do you recognize this tissue? Think carefully now.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
No.
I'm gonna have to hurry you.
ooh.
Time's up, so I'll tell you. It's a used tissue with a liberal dump of Bestheimer's number 12.
If you say so.
Shock
Shake my
him.
hand.
Nah.
Oh, rats. See you later.
Not if you see me first.
What? What about this guy?
Excuse me. Yes?
It looks like he would tie a woman on the train tracks.
I'm looking for a clown.
Are you trying to be fun?
No, I really am looking for a clown.
There are no clowns here except you.
Have you heard of a guy called Plantar?
No, that name means nothing to me.
Do you know a man by the name of Khan?
No, I don't.
It's very important I get to see him, and
I told you, I don't know it.
do you recognize the guy in this photograph?
No, I never saw
That's
it.
Khan.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Hard labor.
Have you ever seen this clown's nose before?
No.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Are you serious?
Oh yes. Take a good look at the substance it's smeared with.
You are sick. Very sick.
Will you shake my hand?
Are you joking? Who knows where it has been?
Fair. Hey, play some Titanic.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear. For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Did you know there's a gangster
Anything.
out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
But most of
I'm
them
looking
are.
for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is dick.
What?
Precisely.
Have you
Why?
come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organizes fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he
But
have
you
a
don't
scar?
know Genghis Khan.
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
It's
I
the
didn't
same
realize you
thing.
were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. A wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was
That's
being
why
wooed by
I'm
drunken British
here.
chefs. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hempstead. That was until last night.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase. Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
Oh, I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him. Does this tissue mean anything to you?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
I just couldn't bring myself to buzz on this dear lady.
Fine. Then I leave. This guy.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Great.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have. Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective. What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
What else?
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
They die.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven. Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Now that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there. Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Hi.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin. I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
No.
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so. Do you know a man named Plantar?
No, monsieur.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats. Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
I already did.
Alors, you know I am telling the truth. May Saint Armand strike me down if I lie.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Right.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
Was it
It's
Merlin?
isn't it? Alias
Merlin.
Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
But if you could, his name would rhyme with
What do you make of
Perlan.
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
What?
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is. Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Grab that.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Hey, ne touche pas!
Just looking.
Come on, take it.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
Maybe he can distract him while I take it.
Hello again. This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
Thanks
Great.
for your help.
Goodbye.
He can help.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes, darling.
No.
There was no one registered under but the name in the book for
What now?
about the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
No, monsieur. Dutch.
I believe Khan, the man with the scar, is also known as Merlin, the man who has taken room 22.
What of it? What do you want?
Access to his room.
Do you have a license, monsieur?
Huh?
A private investigator's license?
Well, not exactly, but I can explain everything.
I am sorry, but without credentials, I cannot help.
I insist you give me the key to Merlin's room.
I cannot do that, monsieur.
This guy Merlin is a menace.
So you say, monsieur.
He's not only a danger to society, but to your guests as well. He has toyed with the affections of Lady Piermont.
Ciel! Are there no depths to which he will not sink?
Precisely. He's already killed once, twice, maybe as many as 3 times. With your help, I just might be able to stop him.
But what if he finds out I have helped you? No.
You will
I
die.
cannot do it.
Fine, I'll just take the key.
Hey, not to...
Just looking.
Ah. With them.
Hello again.
That is
Thanks for your...
goodbye.
Yep. Hey, you help me.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Would you
Yay.
distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh no, it's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts or not?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
plan.
I say, you there, flunky.
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Of course. The way he walks like.
Over to you, my dear.
Great. Okay. Yeah. Start room.
The door was locked.
Well, it's the key then.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Of course. Okay, what's here?
There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
What else? There.
The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
That's it. Oh no, what? It's crazy. I'm going to die. Yeah, just go. This is a murderer's room.
The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed. The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits.
And he's very clean.
It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
Wardrobe. No, don't do that. Let me look. This is useless. There's two things.
It was Khan. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Oh, don't hide there.
As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead. But he grabbed his pants quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed. But this guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed.
You were with a killer on the same closet. Okay, met the most fantastic and insane English woman, Lady Pierre. He recognized the photo of Khan, but said he claimed to be called Merlin. Been lying to her, toying with her affection. Brave man, she's after revenge. That was so close. Just as I was searching Khan's hotel room, he came hitting the word. My heart thumping so hard. I am amazed he didn't hear me. Yeah, that was weird. Pants! They're dirty.
I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching someone's pants. The pocket was empty.
What is that? Oh.
I flipped the pants over. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end. I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord. I turned the pants over again. There was nothing in the pocket.
Oh.
I searched the pocket
coupon.
and found a pass card. It read Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. I turned the pants over again. I found nothing in the pocket.
Okay.
I turned the pants over again.
That's it. What did I pick up?
The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut. It was the card I'd found in the hotel bedroom. It read Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation. The assassin had been too...
Okay, Yep. Yes.
What now, monsieur?
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not especialement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Okay.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that. A murderer? Are you sure?
Positive.
Fine. Talk to this guy.
Hello again.
That is...
Do you recognize this key?
No, I do not.
Does the name on this matchbook mean anything to you?
Indeed it does, for Alamut was the home of the old man of the mountains. You do not know him?
No, I don't. Do you recognize this card?
No, I do not.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Lady Pierrot.
Hi,
She's
ma'am.
fun.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Did I show you?
Yes.
This is the key to room 21.
That's next to the room taken by that rotten Merlin, isn't it?
Yes, and it's vacant.
Really?
Oh.
How convenient.
Maybe it was my imagination, but I had an uncomfortable feeling about this situation.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. Hey, I have this room and guess what? It's empty.
I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
Sure.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
You know, I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Sure. Can I look at it?
It was the ancient manuscript which Khan had stolen from Plantar.
Okay. Yeah, couple hundred years. Sure. Okay, I go to Nico's apartment now.
I couldn't leave the hotel with the manuscript. It was probably
Why
what those
not?
thugs were looking for.
Oh. So I go back up.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room.
Right. Window. Oh, what's
The
this?
cobbles of the alleyway looked very distant and very hard. The cobbles of the alley... There was nothing in...
Hey, tell the guys in the front to
What now, monsieur?
piss off.
Did I show you this pass?
Oui, monsieur.
Do you want this manuscript back?
After all the fuss it caused? No, you keep it.
Okay, you can help.
Hello again. This is...
That
Have you ever seen this old manuscript before? You know what it is, don't you?
you are in great danger. Put the manuscript back and leave here.
What's going on?
I can say no more.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
This is what Merlin was so keen to hide.
Really? Well, that fuss for a sample of wallpaper.
It's some kind of manuscript, and it looks to be very old.
If I was you, I'd keep it well out of sight until you're clear of this place.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I could roll it up and put it down my pants.
No, that wouldn't do at all. You'd attract far too much attention.
Why?
I couldn't leave the hotel with the manuscript. It was probably what those thugs were looking for.
Okay, so dogs want the thing. I can't go out with the thing, but I cannot. Oh, this is it, right? I have to throw it.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Yep. Should at least cover it with something. Your jacket.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break
Fair.
his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
This is the alleyway. Yes. There's my thing.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
Jay.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, George.
What were you doing while I was risking my life?
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
No.
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
Yeah, patience doesn't get you what you want,
Do you have
really.
a boyfriend?
Not anymore. There was someone. A guy in my final year, but it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Kill him.
Tell me more about your family.
When I was a little girl, I used to spend the winter with my grandfather and grandma. They were the
It
best
goes to
times.
very personal
Oh,
conversation
tiny
too
cooks.
fast.
My grandfather rolled cigarettes
That's-
while grandma
that's
made hot
scary.
chocolate and cakes. One day, he stopped his scrolling. He put the lid back on his tobacco jar and took me in his arms. I laughed and wriggled, but he hushed me to be silent. With his unshaven chin all scratchy in my ear, he told me his secret.
What did he say?
He said, I don't smoke, but she likes to think I do.
What a weird old man.
Don't call my grandfather weird. He was the nicest guy ever. I wish I was back in that cottage instead of this crummy apartment in this noisy city.
Right.
Hey, Nico, shake hands with me.
No chance, Buster.
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it.
Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue. A name or an address. That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir. I found this in the killer's room.
What is it? A credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him or the company.
You're just not going to believe what I found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantark?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse.
Oh yeah, maybe
That's
they couldn't
sweet.
afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal was an image of 2 knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades.
Right.
This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
Was paying
If there
attention.
ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping.
Let's
Let's
talk
take
more
another look
about
at
it.
the manuscript.
For things.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull.
The only mythological bull I know of is the Minotaur, but he was only half bull.
I don't think I'd like to be half a bull.
What about the Red Bull?
Even if it was the bottom half.
What's that object between them?
It looks like a gem on top of a tripod.
Yeah, that's like how you represent a virus, isn't
There's
it?
a guy working on a loom.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
weaving a carpet or a tapestry.
Or a duvet cover? It's a clue to a place, I reckon. Somewhere famed for weaving and ships.
Where folk live in barrels?
It beats copper boxes.
And it's side of the sea with a ship. This guy has a snowball.
A knight with a crystal ball. Now, there's something written on the scroll beside the knight.
Yes, but it's written in Latin. Per disciplinum mea lux videbis.
By my teachings, you will see the light.
You speak Latin? Where did you learn a trick like that?
A trick? I studied law, okay? I can read Latin.
My, you're touchy. Tell me that again.
Okay.
There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but
Oh,
the
but
reflection
it was a
has
lollipop.
3 hideous faces.
She reminds me of the Wicked Queen in Snow White.
She was the one who said mirror, mirror on the wall, wasn't she? She made me cry so much when I was a kid. Mom carried me out of the movie theater.
She didn't frighten me in the least.
Like I said, I was only a kid. I didn't like the crocodile in Peter Pan either.
What about the whaling? Oh. What now?
There's a guy between...
Let's face it, we need help, George. Someone who knows about these things.
Who do you suggest? Indiana Jones?
I know a guy who specializes in medieval studies. His name is Lobino.
Huh. Some stuffy old fossil who gets horny over ancient relics, I suppose.
Far from it. Andre isn't the stereotypical professor you have in mind.
Where can I find this Lobino guy?
At the Krone Museum. I'll give you the address.
Let's take another look at the manuscript. There's a guy there, but the reflect. And the night through my teachings, you will be in. There's between. Are you sure you've never heard of Thomas Merlin?
Positive.
Okay.
I have to go.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobino at the Krone Museum.
One museum. Alright. What about you?
Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
Would you like to shake my hand?
No, I wouldn't. I can see the future, remember?
But if that's the future, you can't deny it.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, but I can tell you one thing.
What?
There's no such place as the Club à la Moute in Paris.
Great.
Can you tell me anything about this security pass?
I can tell it doesn't belong to you.
How come?
Give me some credit. If you're an electrician, I'll eat my antirhymes.
You're a remarkably talented lady.
Well, it
See you later.
speaks very
That's right, monsieur,
deep.
you will.
Couldn't tell. But that's also the thing they're distant. Cafe. C'est Krone. What's this way? Oh, that's too deep. There's a Krone. Okay, let's leave. Let's see the windows.
Attention! Please do not open the window, monsieur.
Don't you think it's kind of stuffy in here?
Better stuffy than dead.
What's the problem? Fumes from car exhausts?
Not just that, monsieur. There's a new burger bar opened up across the street. The Laughing Buffalo.
So what's the problem?
They cook their burgers on a charcoal grill. And the fat falls on the open flame. The amount of organic compound and smoke particles released is astounding. Since they opened, local air pollution has doubled. And it stinks like a funeral pyre. That is why I keep the windows closed.
In the case was a spindly tripod, blackened with age and pitted with rust.
Oh, like
It
the
was
one on the thing.
identical to the tripod pictured on the manuscript. A notice identified it as 15th century from Western Ireland. It had been found in Loch Marn at the site of a Knights Templar preceptory.
Ireland! What's that?
This tripod was found in Ireland.
I will have to ask you to keep your voice down.
I'm sorry, I was excited.
Good museum. Tripod manuscript. Ireland. Oh. Sure.
Leave it alone. That closet is over 3,000 years old.
Closet? It's a sarcophagus.
This no.
Don't even think you'll be suffocated.
I always wondered how it felt to be a mummy. Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Are you Lobino?
Oh, no. Fancy you mistaking me for him. No. I am the deputy custodian.
But Lobino does work here.
Work? I wouldn't go so far as to call it there. He studies here most days, but as you can see for yourself, not today.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John D. at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on. Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar, though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes. They are impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to park the... No, no, no. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar, not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Can you give me any further information about the tripod?
Certainly, monsieur. It's infamous. That tripod, that belonged to John D.
What's the importance of John Dee's tripod?
Dee was the most famous escapologist of the 16th century. The Houdini of his time.
Don't you mean alchemist? Escapologists use ropes, chains, and handcuffs, not tripods.
Well, whatever he was, that is the tripod he used in his experiments.
What kind of experiments did John Dee perform with his tripod?
Oh, the usual. Didn't you study chemistry at school?
Yeah, but we skipped over thaumatology. Can I take a closer look at the tripod?
What? Get it out of the case? Ah, no! That tripod is protected by a sophisticated surveillance system.
How sophisticated?
A painfully loud alarm bell.
How is the alarm bell triggered?
By the slightest pressure on or movement of any part of the case wherein that tripod is situated.
It strikes me that to call your alarm system sophisticated is, well, stretching the truth a little.
It has never failed yet. The sophistication is in its simplicity.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. Is there any reason why I should?
I guess not. What does this tool mean to you?
That belongs in a museum.
Pardon?
It is a priceless historical artifact, if I am not mistaken.
No, it's a plain old tool for lifting drain covers. Do you recognize this red nose?
I don't think so.
What do you make of this tissue?
It is absolutely disgusting, monsieur.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not while I'm on duty, monsieur.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Oh, no. I don't frequent places like that.
Do you recognize this ID pass?
No.
Thanks
Very well.
for your help.
I leap. Let me see my now. Where do I go then? Cafe.
Hi there, remember me?
Ah, Mary, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Ah, rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
Oh, down. Back up.
It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on...
Yeah. Don't care about.
I decided I'd had enough of messing with that drain pipe.
Oh. Where to? Oh.
Hi, I've been to the Crew Museum.
Did you speak to Labino?
No, he wasn't there. Have you found out any more about the murders?
Well, it may be nothing, but both the clown's victims visited Paris earlier this year.
When?
The second week of July. They were both here at the same time.
Did they meet?
I don't know, but I can't imagine it was coincidence.
Good job. Let me tell you my story.
Where?
In the museum. It belonged to the Templars. It was dug up in Ireland at a place called Loch Marn.
I have heard of Loch Marn. I read an article about the castle. Take a look for yourself.
A popular gossip magazine. You read that rubbish?
No, I write it.
Professor Nigel Pegram, excavating the medieval castle at Loch Marn. That's strange.
What?
He resigned his chair at Durham University in order to devote his time to the excavation. Not only that, but he canceled the filming of a fourth series of his popular television program. This site at Loch Marn must be awful important to him.
He's a professor of history. They're all cuckoo.
All the same, I'd like to talk to this Professor Pegram. How do you feel about a trip to Ireland?
Disappointed.
Huh?
That I won't be going. I want to follow up the Elote case. If you really think Pegram's gem is important, why don't you visit Loch Marn?
On my own? I'm not so sure about that. Where is Ireland exactly? Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Sure.
There's a guy with a sword between them. There's a but the and the nights through my teaching.
Look there.
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
You tell me anything about
Oh,
Loch
hi.
Marn? Look, where was it? Loch
Hello,
Marn?
my handsome friend.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur, you will.
Oh. Top of Ireland. Loch Marn. I just go there?
I passed the castle on the way into Loch Marn. The castle where Pegram's excavation was located.
Animations.
I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside. I tugged at the plastic cover, but it didn't move.
About this handsome guy.
Hi there.
What?
What's your name, kid?
Who are you calling kid? Who the hell are you?
What's this?
Rosso's the name. Murder's my game.
Are you a detective?
Let's just say I'm here to find the truth.
Cool. Just like on the telly.
cut the crap and tell me your name.
Liam McGuire.
What are you doing hanging around the bar, McGuire?
I'm on the run from me dad.
Why? Did you do something bad?
I ain't done nothing, boss.
You can tell me, kid. Is it your dad?
Oh, sir. He drinks every last penny down his evil throat. And there's me poor old mother, bedridden and dying of presumption. I tried to buy her medicine. Chopped firewood for Father Mahoney till me fingers bled. The old skinflint cheated me too. But I took the pennies he gave me back home. Look, Ma, says I, see what your darling son has earned with his own sweat and blood. When suddenly, me dad appears and grabs the loot. I'm off to Dublin, heavy drinking, says he. Watch out till I get back. That's why I runned away.
Something in the grin on his face told me he wasn't being strictly truthful. Compared to him,
Oh.
Huckleberry Finn was a candidate for Altar Boy of the Year. What can you tell me about the castle, McGuire?
What do you want to know?
Well, can I get inside?
No, it's locked up.
Does anyone live there?
No. Only, what do you want to know? Oh, nothing.
You know something about the castle you're not telling me, don't you?
No.
What is it you're covering up? Is it something you're scared of?
I ain't scared of nothing.
I'll give you one last chance to tell me about the castle.
Oh, yeah? And what if I don't?
Then I'm taking you back to school.
Oh, there's a ghost. It's called the Phantom of Loch Man.
You're not telling me you believe in ghosts, are you?
Mister, I seen it with me very own eyes. Last Tuesday night, I went up to see what that dig was about. I just reached the top of the wall when I hears this awful noise.
What sort of noise?
A horrible snuffling and snorting, like O'Brien's pig, only worst. It was coming from inside the castle.
Did you find out what was making the noise?
Oh, sorry about that.
I just sat there on the wall.
Oh my, yeah. So sorry.
Like
I'm going to... I'm so sorry. It had to be done. It's not fixed, but
did you get to
it's
see the ghost?
better, I think.
Indeed I did. And a fearsome sight it is too. I sat on my arse, waited while the moon went down. Then out it comes from the shadows, all grey and tattered and hunched over like an old bent willow. Then I hears this spluttering and splashing and horrible laughter in the dark. I was so scared. Why, I fell off the bloody wall.
I'm sure there's a rational explanation for what you saw at the castle.
There is. The bloody place is haunted.
Have you seen a guy dressed as a clown?
Here in Lochmarn, they all dress like clowns.
The man I'm looking for is a dangerous psychotic.
Jesus. It's just like that film I saw. There's this clown, see? And he's after this kid who saw him kill a guy. He tries to warn the sheriff, only no one believes him. Then, while he's in the tub, the clown cuts him up with a chainsaw.
My God, that doesn't sound suitable for a kid like you.
Who are you calling a kid? I'm 25.
Yeah, right. You're not a day over 14.
Oh no, it's 25 that I am. Married with a car and 3 kids. 10 kids if you count the wives.
Do you know a man called Pegram?
Can you describe him like on the telly in the cop shows?
He's an English archaeologist.
I know the man you mean if he's the one.
Can you tell me where I'd find Pegram?
No,
The music is too loud.
Now, but if I sees him, I'll ask him.
Do you know what Pegram was doing in the castle?
Digging for buried treasure. Jewels and gold and skeletons, like in the films.
Have you ever seen this man before?
What a slimy character. No, I never seed him.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Lifting drains.
Dead right. How did you know that?
Work experience course at school. That gives me a choice of going down the drains or up the chimney.
You're kidding. Have you ever seen anyone wearing one of these?
Sure. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That belongs to the killer clown you're looking for.
That's right.
Can I have it?
Sorry. I'm keeping this as evidence.
You should have told the cops.
I did. They weren't interested.
You should run tests on that, mister. You could identify the murderer with a sample of his snot.
Yuck. I don't think so.
Well,
What
you're
does this
making it
tissue mean
more
to you?
difficult.
Nothing.
Give me your hand.
Get lost.
Oh, come on. I just want to show you a little trick.
No way, mister. I don't do tricks. Father Mahoney told me I'd burn in hell if I did.
I just want to shake your hand, that's all.
No way.
Do you
Who is
recognize this
gonna work
matchbook,
on?
McGuire?
No, sir. I never seen it before in my life.
Ever heard of Thomas Merlin or the Gruber Electronics Corporation?
No?
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Okay, audio, music, lower it. Inside. Okay. The guy with the small violin.
He wasn't listening.
Great.
Hello there. My name's George Stobart.
Pleased to meet you, I'm sure. I'm O'Brien. Can I help you?
Have you heard of the Phantom?
More than that. I've seen it. And let me tell you, it's a dreadful spectacle.
So it's not just a local legend. There really is a Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh, no. I was talking about the Phantom of the Opera.
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar?
I most certainly have. A remarkable institution. Did you know? They were the originators of our system of credit. Their financial empire stretched from the Atlantic to the Caspian Sea. With bases in so many countries, they had to establish new methods of fiscal transfer.
So, the Knights Templar were nothing but a bunch of bankers.
I don't get it. Are you saying these Templar guys invented bank charges?
In a manner
Yep.
of speaking, I suppose they did.
What a dirty trick. Didn't anyone try to stop them?
Oh, yes. They were arrested, and many were burnt at the stake.
Good. They bloody well deserved it if they were anything like my bank manager.
Awesome.
What can you tell me about the castle, Mr. O'Brien?
It's a fine sight now, isn't it? Dates back to the 10th century, you know. Most of the existing building was added much later, of course.
Are the ruins open to the public?
Oh, no, it's much too dangerous. Anyway, there's nothing of interest remaining.
How can I get into the castle?
Well, those walls were built specifically to stop people getting in, Mr. Stobart. But I dare say you'll find a way, if you've the will.
Can you tell me about the tripod which was found at the castle?
Now, there's a bone of contention and controversy. It was dug up by an Englishman of the archaeological persuasion.
Who was this Englishman?
Professor Pegram, the same man who dug up the gem.
Do you know where I can find Pegram?
You're too late to meet that fella.
Is he dead?
Not that. But he's gone from the village. A sore point with our esteemed host, I might add.
Do you know where Pegram is gone?
I'm sorry, but I don't. He upped anchor in the dark and shipped out before the dawn.
Why did he do that?
Who knows? A guilty conscience or a secret assignation. Whatever the reason, he'll not be missed in Lochmar. Maybe now the fuss about the gem has died down. We can get back to normal.
What can you tell me about the gem which Pegram found?
Now there's a gem which should never have been taken. A man would have to be full of greed to covet that stone. What's your interest in the jewel? You're not a reporter, are you?
Oh no.
Thank the Lord for that.
Why has Pegram's departure upset the landlord?
He's lost a paying guest. That's why. More than that, there's the question of an unsettled bill. Poor Michael's seen red over the business, and I don't blame him.
Can you tell me more about the landlord?
Mick Leary? He's what you call a would-be sophisticated. The trouble is, his idea of sophistication extends as far as putting paper in the lavatory.
I never worked out why he did that. It's much too dark in there to read.
That's true. Have you ever run your hand over the back of the door? The graffiti is written in Braille.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nope, I've never seen him before.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I'd say it was for lifting manhole covers.
Does this red nose suggest anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What do you make of this tissue?
I guess that muck on it is grease paint.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh, no you don't.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The design is Middle Eastern, I'd say.
What can you tell me about this ID pass?
Gruber Electronics. I've never heard of it.
Goodbye for now.
What about his friend?
Hi, my name's Stobart, George Stobart.
Hello there, mister. What can I do for you?
Do you know Professor Pegram?
Do I know him? Do I know the good professor himself? No, I don't. I mean, I know who he is, but I don't know him to talk to.
Do you know anything about Pegram's excavation?
Only that he didn't have the right tools for the job. What he needed was shovels and a JCB.
Pegram was digging for historical remains, not coal.
Is that a fact? What the hell for?
It's the science of archaeology, Pat. Understanding how people used to live by what they've left behind. One day archaeologists might be digging up our remains.
Imagine that, Mr. O'Brien. I wonder what they'll find.
Well, it won't be arrowheads and beakers. Fast food cartons and flavored condoms, more likely.
Ho 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 ho
Did
ho.
anyone from the village work at Pegram's dig?
I tried it myself, but that high and mighty history man called me incontinent. What a nerve. Hadn't I dug more holes than the rest of them put together?
Can you tell me anything about the castle on the hill?
Oh, I don't know much about anything. You should ask Mr. O'Brien here. He does joined up writing. Would you be one of them history fellas yourself?
Oh no, I'm here on vacation.
What's that?
A vacation, Pat. It's what the Americans call a holiday.
Oh, right. In Lochmarn? You come to Lochmarn for a holiday?
Sure, it's a very pretty place.
Where the hell are you from, mister?
California.
I know it. That's where the Bruins come from.
Yeah, amongst other things. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
It's a handsome mug on that fella, to be sure. Is he a film star?
What do you make of this tool?
It's for lifting manhole covers.
What does this false nose mean to you?
No, you're a clown.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
No, boss.
May I shake your hand?
No, you can't.
Well, how come?
Because I'll spill me beer if you do.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
No.
Does this security pass mean anything to you?
Well, no.
Bye for now.
Okay, long talks. What about this guy?
My name's George.
Pleased to meet you, mister. My name's Fitzgerald.
What can you tell me about the castle?
There's nothing there. Just an old ruin.
How old?
I really couldn't tell you.
Have you ever explored the castle yourself?
I used to play there sometimes, when I was a kid. Then one of the little uns fell off the wall, broke his head and died. We didn't go there anymore.
You haven't been up there recently?
No.
Do you know Professor Pegram?
He's the archaeologist, isn't he?
That's right. Did you work at Professor Pegram's dig?
What gave you that idea?
Can I get you another drink?
Oh, no thank you. I shouldn't be drinking at all. I'm on tablets for my nerves. More than a pint and I'll pass out.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I'm sure I don't know him.
What do you think this tool is used for?
Something to do with horses?
Wrong. It's for opening manhole covers.
Oh, really? Well, you learn something every day.
What does this red nose suggest to you?
Blood.
Why's that?
I used to bleed a lot when I was a kid.
Every time there was a playground scrap, I'd end up with a bloody nose. I wouldn't have minded, but I wasn't even involved in the scraps.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
Nothing.
Shake my hand.
It's a trick, isn't it?
Damn it, you're right. I can't seem to fool anyone. Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No.
Check out this pass.
Thomas Merlin? No, never heard of him.
See you later.
This guy.
Top of the morning to you.
I beg your pardon.
Well, that's what you Irish say, isn't it?
Do you want something? Or are you just flaunting your xenophobia?
Well, I was trying to be sociable.
Is it a room you're after?
No, thank you. I don't plan to stay too long.
Who does? Most folk take one look at Loch Martin and jump back on the bus.
Have you served any, clowns recently?
No. You're the first today.
Ho 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 ho.
Do you know a man
Nice
called
one.
Pegram?
Indeed I do. Are you a friend of his, by any chance?
Oh, no. I'm just trying to track him down.
Me too. That son of a bitch should be locked away.
Did Pegram stay here?
Yes, he did. 6 nights plus breakfast.
I'll try a glass of beer, please.
Is this your first pint of real ale?
Well, I guess so. What's real ale, anyhow?
Beer that's brewed from natural ingredients to traditional methods. It shouldn't be kept under pressure or refrigerated. And finally, it should have a good body and distinctive character.
In other words, it's flat and worn with bits in, and it makes you fall over.
That sounds good.
Do you recognize this man?
No, I don't. What do you want with him?
I've got a score to settle.
I don't want any trouble in the bar, mister. If it's a fight you're looking for, see Father Mahoney.
A priest? A man of the cloth?
Sure. And he teaches the boys how to box at the youth club. According to Mahoney, it develops character. Isn't that right, Pat? Didn't he teach you the art of pugilism? Dial.
Sorry, Michael. I was miles away. What did you say?
Ah, never mind.
Here's something which might interest you.
It doesn't.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Does this tissue mean anything to you?
That's disgusting.
Uh-huh. I found it in the sewers.
What's the idea of waving it around in my face? You're worse than old Ron. Put it away, man.
Hey, bartender?
Landlord, if you don't mind.
Sorry. Shake my hand, why don't you?
Now, why should I do that? What have you got up your sleeve?
Nothing. Come on, just shake my hand.
Oh, not just now, mister. I have to be careful on account of the health restrictions.
Oh, jeez. Do you recognize this matchbook?
No, sir.
Do you recognize the name on this card?
No. Should I?
Nah, it was a long shot. Look, I gotta be going.
Is this something useful for once?
It was a beer-stained piece of towel.
Oh, sorry. A what?
It was a rectangle of toweling printed with the words, Nagopolian Stout builds body. Hi
So-
there, old-timer. What? Nasty cold you've got there. As soon as the words left my lips, I regretted them.
Is there such a thing as a cold which isn't nasty? I put the question to Father Mahoney. Father, says I, why were we born to suffer snot?
What did he say?
He said, it's my reward for being out all night like a sinner. Pious prig. Anyway, this is no ordinary cold. 'Tis the hay fever.
Pollinosis?
Thank you. You're not a policeman, are you?
Excuse me?
Police? No. I'd know it if you were.
Can I buy you a beer?
Very kind, I'm sure. But I don't drink the stuff Leary sells.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen what it can do.
Can you tell me how to get into the castle?
Don't even think about it, me bucko. Lochmarn Castle is haunted.
That's what the kid outside told me, but I don't believe it.
Then you're a fool.
Ghosts don't bother me. I still want to visit that castle.
You can't. It's not open to the public.
There's no one around to stop me, is there?
That's right. Nothing human, anyhow.
Have you ever seen the ghost?
To be sure. With me very own eyes.
Can you describe the ghost?
It was horrible. A wee stunted beast, long beak.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to avoid it. The cable is like right in front of the screen.
Skunk in Lochmarn? That'll be the day. No, that was a ghost, to be sure.
I think I know what you saw on the castle wall.
I know what I saw.
I don't think so. It was the kid, McGuire.
What?
He was up on the wall last Tuesday night. He thought you were the Phantom of Lochmarn.
Oh!
Do you know Pegram, the archaeologist?
That's the scrawny fellow who was poking around at the castle, isn't it? No, I don't know him.
What's that you're making?
It's a necklace, me bucko.
Oh, sure. Made out of steel wire?
That's right. A necklace for my pretty one. When my little lover feels it round her slender neck, she'll be mine. All mine.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
I can't tell without me glasses.
Can you identify this tool?
No.
What does this red nose mean to you?
Nothing.
You could make use of this tissue.
Never use them. Those things are unhygienic.
Hey, would you like to shake my... no, on second thought, forget it. Could you use this towel?
I could, but it wouldn't be much use for anything else.
What does this matchbook mean to you?
Nothing. Go away and stop bothering me.
Take a look at this ID card.
I don't know anything about it.
I'll see you later. Hey, McGuire.
What?
Do you know anything about Pegram's Dig?
He wouldn't let me anywhere near it. I offered to help, but he chased me off. I didn't want to see his smelly old hole anyhow.
Did anyone from the village work at the dig?
Pegram brought some students and bums with him. He reckoned no one in Lochmarn would know what to look for. The only local guy who worked for him was Sean Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald says he's never been anywhere near the dig.
He's having you on, mister.
What do you make of this, kid?
Hey, that's one of Leary's towels. He'll skin you alive.
That old windbag doesn't scare me. Anyhow, I'm only borrowing it.
You're pretty cool, mister. For an old guy.
See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
Pizza guard. This guy?
Excuse me, Mr. O'Brien.
Oh.
Hello there. What now?
Goodbye for now. Hey!
Hello there again, mister.
Bye for now. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Look, I gotta be going. Hello again.
What?
I'll see you later. Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yeah.
McGuire says he saw you working at the dig. What's more, he saw you talking with Pegram.
I knew this would happen. I knew I'd get caught.
I need to talk to Professor Pegram, if he's still alive.
What do you mean? Is he in danger?
Yeah, you too, if I'm right.
You're not from the Social Security.
Hell no. What makes you think that?
Well, I was claiming benefit at the same time I was working for Pegram.
I'm not in a position to make judgments, Sean. That's between you and your conscience. All I want is to talk to Pegram about the gem.
But he's not here!
I know that. But he left that package with you, didn't he? So where did Pegram go?
I don't know. I swear it. He came to see me early this morning. Said he was leaving. He asked me to give this package to a guy called Marquet.
Show me what's in the package, Sean.
I can't do that.
Why not?
I promised the professor.
So what? You didn't have any qualms about your benefit scam. So where's the harm in taking a peek inside Pegram's package?
You don't know these people. I can't. I don't dare.
This is your last chance to show me the package, Fitzgerald. I've been patient with you, but now it's time to kick ass.
But he'll kill me.
Who will?
The man from Paris. Jack Marquet. Pegram told me if I gave him the package unopened, I'd hear no more about it. But if I double-crossed Marquet, I'd be dead.
I'll deal with Jacques Marquet. Give the package to me.
No. Why should I trust you? I don't know who to trust anymore. I wish I'd never even heard of the Lochmarn gem. Hey! I just seen a big red...
Get out of here, Maguire. Come back when you're old enough.
What's the lad howling about?
A big red sports car. Sean Fitzgerald's been run over.
Get out! Noisy little tyke.
Maybe you should send out some medicinal brandy maker.
Oh, yes. And who's going to pay for it?
Not me.
Me too, neither.
I was telling the truth about Fitzy, mister.
Okay, calm down. Now tell me what happened.
I was standing here, minding me own business, when I saw this beautiful red sports car coming up over the hill. Would you look at that, says I, and I going over to take a closer look. Next thing, Fitzy comes tearing out of the pub and nearly knocks me on my ass, but the car just flies at him. It was too fast for poor old Fitzy, and ate him an awful wallop. He goes flying up on top. Jesus, says I thought he was a goner. Next thing, the driver hops out, and I couldn't believe my eyes. He was dressed like a bloody pixie.
Hey, Maguire.
What?
Did this pixie have a scar on his cheek?
I couldn't see. He was wearing a stupid mask. Are you a special agent?
Sorry to disappoint you, kid, but I'm not. Did Fitzgerald drop anything when he was hit?
I didn't see. It all happened so fast.
Maybe the package fell somewhere out of sight. See you later, kid.
Okay, mister.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand. I tugged at the trapdoor, but it was locked from the inside. Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
Look, I gotta... Excuse me?
Yes, sir?
May I have...
Certainly, sir.
Yeah, please.
That's the secret of the master brewer, sir. Each barrel is lovingly manhandled in time-honored fashion, suspended on skillfully tied ropes of the finest hemp, lowered into the cellar, utilizing the forces of original gravity, like manna from heaven. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvellous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it. I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer. When you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
I couldn't see anything obviously wrong with the machine. I figured it must be the wiring. I used all my knowledge of electrical engineering to examine the plug. Almost as if he'd sensed my intentions, the old derelict snatched the wire from the table.
Will you leave it alone, man?
Look, I know how it seems, but my curiosity got the better of me. As soon as the old guy looked away, I grabbed his piece of wire. I couldn't. I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man, on the house. Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen. It was impossible. I lifted the trap door, and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera. It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut. Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
Could have shaken his hand.
Now I could see. I spotted Mr. Leary's flashlight easily. Then I noticed a flash of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trapdoor.
That thing.
It was Peagram's gem, all right. A large, uncut blue stone. I guess I was already under its spell.
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire. I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way. You're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari. It was a large blue gemstone.
Great.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water. I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Oh. Hello.
Hi, do you speak English?
Well, no. What if I was to say no? An implication of cognizance shrouded in denial. A pretty poser of a paradox indeed.
I gave him the look I'd perfected when I was 12 and was going to be the greatest hypnotist of all time. It was a killer.
Are you attempting to hypnotize me, or is it the constipation you're suffering?
I was a little out of practice. What can you tell me about the castle?
Not much, I'm sorry to say. Most of its history is long forgotten. But if these old stones could only speak, what stories they'd tell. Stories to make your toes curl and your blood run cold. You know, this castle is said to be over 600 years old.
Have you seen Professor Peagram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
A racing car? And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah. He knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot! How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
I mean, the car was traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart. Was he killed by the car?
Oh, no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle. His own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma. Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous! I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
He strode off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay. The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland. I pushed my fingers into the narrow crack. It went back several inches into the rock. I inserted the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
Okay, I'm going to save and leave. Save. Yes. 38%. Good. Yeah. I am very tired. You probably saw it. But I'm gonna keep coming back to this game. It is funny. It's a fun game. I'm still working on anything else that I do. I'm gonna keep going this week. Next week I'm gonna figure some agenda, some time management I'm gonna have to do. But I'm gonna keep coming back to the stream, and I will look into ways of making the stream grow from at least 0 to a few. Because the YouTube video I was making, I am also very tired to keep making it. I planned it with a lot of production, and I don't have energy to do that now. I am not even done with the writing, and I'm exhausted. It's taking a lot, and I should just like sit an afternoon and complete it, at least the script, and then I can manage to do the filming, and the worst part it's the editing, but at least I'll be there. I think once I get the videos, like the recording, editing, I'll be more in how would you call it? I'll take less time because the video is already made. I just need to edit it, even though editing is the worst. And I also took the thing supporting my camera when I left, and now I don't know what the angle is. I something like this probably. And I'm sorry about the microphone. The problem is the cable. It's like right next to my leg, and if I move a little bit, it just makes the awful sound. And it's the cable. It's old and in bad shape. But I don't have another one, so I'm gonna keep using this until I get a new one or a better one. I'm gonna say it shouldn't be that hard for me to get one of those. I used to have a lot of microphones. Don't ask why. Anyway, back to Broken Sword, and after I finish this, I'm probably doing Escape Monkey Island, or whatever the first one is. I know Monkey Island 2 is the second one. And there's Return of Monkey Island. I don't know, but Curse of Monkey Island is the last one, isn't it? How many are there? 3? Going for 4th? Anyway, I also haven't done any TikToks of my comedic stand-up routine. Because I think I haven't used TikTok at all. Which is interesting. Everyone seems to be addicted to that crap. And I'm not. I'm addicted to the YouTubes. It's not an addiction, I can do without it, but I spend far, like way more. Like, it's not even comparable the amount of time I spend on YouTube than any other platform. Maybe Twitch because I leave it as background sometimes, but if you don't count that, then yeah, YouTube is the biggest thing. I mean, every entertainment is there. And I'm an iPad kid, so I take it to eat. Well, I'm just stalling. As you can see, I am very tired, but I'm trying to like go back into speaking more. I'll be more excited about doing this if at least any of my friends watched it, but they're busy. They have altruistic things that they do, so I'm not going to stop them just because I do a little stream about a video. Anyway, I'm just talking. But it's good. I am glad I did it. And it's nighttime now. It's been like 2 hours, 15 minutes around. So that's it. I'll see you next time.